Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. Well, it's morning for me. I just wanted to make another video because lately I've been seeing a lot of posts online about teachers who have 20 plus years of experience, know all the certifications and the way to prep somebody for a really serious exam that may in fact give them open up doors for them in the future, whether that's for academics or for work. And I just had a few tips about what you should take into consideration when you set your prices. Okay, and it's really tough because there are a lot of teachers online and there's a lot of competition. It's fierce. So a lot of teachers are scared of not getting any clientele, and what they're doing is they're driving down the prices, right? They're asking for 10 bucks an hour or $5 an hour, I've heard. And they're not really taking into consideration everything that you need to factor into that price. And especially if you're working online, there's a lot of stuff you need to take into account. Years ago when I started teaching 20 plus years ago, all you really needed was your book, a pen, and you'd go from house to house, do your private lessons that way. All you needed was your mind and make sure you've got the material, the book, maybe even a tape deck, right? We had tapes back then, and so that you could play the listening portion of the exam for those when you're prepping them for exam. Or you'd go to the ESL school that you worked for, and again, you just had your bag, you had your books, and you were ready to go. You prepped, and that was it. Now, if you're going to teach online, there are a lot of things you got to take into account if you're going to charge more than $10 an hour. Okay, and if you want to charge more than $10 an hour, which I think you should, there are some things you need to think about. Okay, first of all, if let's say you're charging 10 bucks an hour, okay, that is not just your time in the classroom. Okay, this includes any programs you have invested in to teach, Zoom, ClassIn, whatever that might be. Okay, if you have a programming system, right? Let's say you have a scheduling system, you pay for that annually as well. Perhaps you create your own materials, and this is even more, it's even more sadder to hear when someone's charging 10 bucks an hour and they're customizing the material. It takes a lot of time to customize material. Okay, if you're using Google Slides and you're creating those slides for your class and you're customizing your class to the needs of the student, don't charge 10 bucks an hour. I mean, I can't say this enough. It takes you an hour maybe to create the slides, plus you're in the classroom for another hour, plus you're paying all the electricity, your internet provider, your Zoom, whatever it is that you're paying. All of that is in your 10 bucks an hour. Okay, so don't do it. I don't know why. People are scared. They want, some people are good with just making 300 bucks or 400 bucks a month, but you're selling yourself short. And I think that teachers shouldn't do that. We provide a very important service, something that is going to open up doors for people in the future. They're going to make money off of your service, and they're going to make a lot more money than your service, So you should really, really value your work a lot more than 10 bucks an hour. Okay. And take all of that into account. If you put all of that into your 10 bucks an hour that you're spending to provide your service, you're making minus just for being there. Okay. And I'm not talking about all the knowledge you might know or have, because if you've been teaching for 20 years in the ESL field and you've been teaching certificates, that means you have valuable knowledge as to what a student should or should not do during the exam. You're not just teaching them skills, English skills, something that they will have forever. It's an investment. Okay. But you're also teaching them how to pass the exam, which is something that not everybody can do. So if you're a teacher with 20 plus years in the ESL field, right? Boost your confidence, man, make more money. And there's no reason why you shouldn't. And it's better to have 10 students at 30 bucks or 40 bucks an hour than have 50 students at $10 an hour, because you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be working 12-hour days, which I have done. Trust me, I know this from experience. And in the end, all that's left is nothing. You're not making enough money and you're exhausted. So, charge what you're worth. Charge what you are worth. Charge it. And if they say, no, sorry, you're too expensive, say, okay, it's fine. This is what I'm worth. And if I work for any less than that, I'm not going to be satisfied and I'm not going to perform. So if I'm not satisfied and I'm not performing, you're going to get less out of me than you should have. Take advantage of my services, pay for them. Okay. So, that's just something that I wanted to share with everybody, just because I've been there, right? I've charged the $10 an hour and it's been great. It doesn't mean I did my job any less, right? Or I wasn't as good as what I did. But if you've got 20 plus years of experience and you're paying for a lot of things just to be online and provide your service, factor that into account when you set the price that you're going to set for your classes. And anyone who is smart enough to invest in education and people who know it's important will pay for it. Okay. Anyone who doesn't think it's important and they're paying you $40 an hour, let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to pay for the bills that are like $400, $200 a month. And they're going to be like, teacher so-and-so, $40 for them. Okay, I'll pay them less because it's only $40. They're not going to value your service. So they're not going to put your payment into their priority, right? It's not going to be a priority for them. It's going to be like, $40. Okay, yeah, that's a little, that's just a little bit of money. So I'll pay for that last. And then what happens is you've got people paying you a month, 2 months later, or they'll do it like that just so that there's a considerable amount of money gathered up for them to even, bother to do that. Don't forget, you also have bank fees. If you're teaching online and you have people all over the place, you also have to factor the bank fees into that account too, into that amount as well. So you guys, you're providing a valuable service. You are teachers, you are educators, and you have a pool of knowledge to share with your students. Charge for it. Get your money's worth. You'll be more relaxed. You'll be making the money you deserve, and your students will be super happy with your work too, because you won't be thinking about 40 other students you need to accommodate, right? You could have 10 students and you could be fully dedicated to them and they're going to get the best out of you and you're still going to make the same money. Okay, so that's all I had to say. I hope everyone's doing well. It's the weekend for me, so hopefully everybody has a great weekend as well. Bye.